Alright, I think we're live. Does YouTube think we're live? It would appear that YouTube thinks we're live. Looks like it, at least. Oh. Alright, let's see if Carl pings. Would appear that Carl didn't indeed ping. Good, good. We are live. Perfect. Alright, first order of business is cleaning up this groundwork. Want all of it gone from what it is right now. We want it to be actually nice. I can see myself moving on the other monitor. So we are indeed live. Perfect. Okay. Before we do groundworks, actually, we're gonna fix this area here because it looks dumb. In the meantime, I can get this in to about there, let's say. Yeah, it looks reasonable. Put in this section, take it up just a 1/4%. Since groundwork lays weird. And we can go ahead back here, take this out, bring it across. Perfect. Looks fine. Hello to everybody in the stream. Just cleaning up this stuff that we laid last time. Okay, I'll come at it from the other side. Let me know if any audio stuff is wonky. I'll get that fixed. But we want to get this line hooked up in a fashion that makes sense. I'll go ahead and take this out. 1/4% to the left. Take it back, so we're now 0.5% to the left. And we have lots of space to take care of it, so it's not an issue. Hello there to you, Abyss Miniature Studios. It's doing good for me tonight. We're doing good tonight. Oh my goodness. English is not doing so hot tonight. But yeah, I've had a pretty good day today. It's been rather chill. I've been looking forward to getting my game on tonight. Figured might as well stream for you guys anyways. I am not sure if anybody else will be joining us. Alright, so we need to take 3/4% things over then. Oops. Yeah, I have the voice chat open in case any of them want to join. Any of the other people who've been played on this map already before. Alright, take it left 1/4%. Left another 1/4%, and then third 1/4%. Bring it back out to straight. And that should give it more angle so we get in before the loading platform. And then we'll get the groundworks done. And then that'll be the ironworks done. And then we can start on the line to the coal mine, which actually has to go through the refinery first. Alright. Well, I don't like that, so I'm going to take it back. I'm going to do 4 sections of 1/4% before pulling out to 0. You know, might as well just do 5 actually. Because I want the curve to be very gradual. Oh, that is the not the Alt key, that was the Windows key. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Back out to 1 or 0, not 1. If you guys want any of the audio levels turned up or down, just let me know. Named your Class 70 the Enterprise of 1701. You better have your railroad named the NCC something. While re-railing it, a hopper went to parts unknown. Had that happen before. Good evening, Edward. That is a fantastic name for your Class 70. I am jealous and I might steal it. Alright, let's take this back out. 0.75%. Okay, we're gonna have to alt lock to this. And get in the 9 tie segments. Good evening, Midland. Is this my TFS Cell Arena moment? I don't know what that means. I do know that I keep mistaking the Alt key for my Windows key. Okay. We're gonna go and delete this, and I placed that wrong. I know I'm gonna replace it again. But I want to get rid of this, and because it's not laying straight, it's ever so slightly off. So we're gonna finish that. I'm gonna come back over to roughly here. Then turn one of these bad boys. Lay in some nice 9-segment tie track. It's from a fan series called Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Worth a watch if I have time. Unfortunately, I actually don't watch any anime. And the story behind me not watching anime actually has to do with some friends of mine essentially claiming that I had to watch anime for some reason or other, and I was just like, you know what? I bet you I can go my whole life without watching anime. And I haven't ever watched any, so. Sure, I've seen some clips and stuff people have shown me, but it's just, it does not interest me. It's not something I find interesting. Sorry. Clown, I don't care for anime, alright? I can have my own opinions. Is allowed. Really? This doesn't line up again? Oh, it's because... Man, I am stupid sometimes. I was still alt-locked on 1/4%. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to have fun laying this over again. Oh well. Should have gone and swiped out that other track that was underneath it. Doing this. Ugh. That should fix the ties. Double darn, because it's hilarious, but my reasoning is understandable. Appreciate that. Let's try to get this erroneous rail out the way without too much issue. That way the control points don't get too messed up. Because I want to just be able to snap to it. I don't want to have to deal with it. Yeah. Abyss Miniature Studios, you do find a lot of animes with that sort of content, and it's not exactly my favorite. Alright, I think that's the control point's good, but I'm still going to alt-lock for it. Just get rid of this original stuff here. Alt-lock, left 1/4%. I'll just snap to these things. 3, 4, 5, and I believe it was 6. Maybe 7? Yeah, there we go. Take it over 1/4%. It's a little bit off, but that's fine. We can nudge it if needed. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete what I have then underneath this bit. Because it's too much. Yes, Pharma did give me a hard time about this. That's why it's getting fixed right now. It was, I'll do it later, and Pharma's like, no, you won't. But yeah, I want to get a piece of straight off of this section. I know this section's straight from back here. Because I want it to line up with the straight. Okay, we're going to take a piece of tie here. Just leave that there. This section is still straight. Alt lock, left quarter degree. We're going to see where this lines up. Okay, we're starting to come back on it, so let's go back up to straight. And then to the right, 1/4 degree. It's just turns too much. Let's get this out of the way then. Hello?
Hi.
Is that Pharma?
Yeah.
We are live, so play nice for the YouTube.
Swear.
Uh-huh. Just gonna do it that way. Let's see, take this link to that. Alt, go left.
So what are you guys up to?
I am live. Hello, Kyle.
Howdy.
And we are on YouTube, so please no swearing.
Yeah. Well, I don't really tend to swear either way. Alright, well, I'll let you guys get it. Oh, my bad, the interview on your stream. I'll let you guys get back to all that fun stuff. You guys have a great night.
Alright.
Okay, Ben. Where are you at, you naughty boy?
At the
Hello.
Ironworks. Is that a Tristan I smell?
Smell? Probably not. You do hear me, though.
We are live,
Tristan,
so
what's this ugly
play nice.
switchback mountain that leads to the garbage truck?
It's the garbage track that leads to the ugly switchback mountain. Thank you very much.
Why is it there?
Oh,
We're never going to take trains that way.
but down the hill, maybe.
I'm pretty sure I'd rather go around
You'd rather
the
go
iron
around.
mine than do a switchback twice.
It's you know, it's something. I didn't want to do anything that would constitute real content.
I can just build a nice heist coaster or something.
I know you didn't say it, but I heard a nice heist cursed or something.
I heard heist
only-
coaster.
Heist coaster.
Like
Okay.
the one he has from the saddle that goes to his Ironworks.
Yeah.
Like a in memoriam.
Well, you weren't there. I had to do something.
Alright. Since we have an abundance of people watching, what did I miss? 2102 pulled 50 hoppers in a caboose. Is that something in-game or real life? I have no clue. More anime stuff.
Based on the prevalence of caboose, I'll say in-game.
Giant racing fighting robots? What? That's weird.
Uh-oh.
Definitely an anime sounding thing, but weird. Oh, Edward's got a almost 6% up to his coal mine. Dude, what are you doing?
Something I did want that's not a shitpost is a fast track that goes from the logging camp down to the smelter.
Tristan, language!
It's a word. And a quote.
And we're on YouTube.
There's quotes around that.
Play nice.
Oh my god, Tristan, what's your language?
The Australian says, alright. The irony's not lost on me, but I'll play nice.
Good.
Okay, I'm on my switchback nonsense. And I'm gonna keep building it. Y'all don't need it, but I'm gonna keep doing it.
Ah, Tristan. Can this please line up? Like, it's just lining up immediately imperfectly. And I'm about ready to scrap it. Alright, where do you get closest to lining up? I'm only spending time on this because Pharma complained about it.
That's fair.
I mean, it was a wobble. Like, a very obvious wobble. What do you want from me? If I didn't say something, Clown was just going to come over and relay your entire loop and make you feel bad about it.
He may still.
The whole point was for him to come over and relay it.
You know, now you could spend hours doing it for him to come over and relay it, like you did the trip up to the logging camp. Trust
Yeah,
me,
but he
you
got that
treated,
down more. This one doesn't need to go down in grade or
Uh,
anything.
I haven't cut anything down. I actually haven't even placed a spline yet, so it's not me.
Besides, I'm placing the track in now. Then I can start on the groundworks and get that all in, and it'll be fine. None of the ties will be sunk, and they won't ever be sunk because the bridge isn't sunk.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, it's this problem, child.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
A
We said
wild
clown
clan has
enough.
appeared.
We've summoned him. We were just saying how you
Maybe
needed
it
to
must have been
relay.
burning.
Probably. We're just saying how you needed to relay Nickley's line to save him from his own shame.
Yeah,
So,
I was watching the stream.
there you go. You know.
Hmm. So, Tristan, did you look at the bridge? Do you like it? It's
I
finished
haven't taken
now.
a look at it yet. It's finished now? That's awesome.
Yeah, as soon as I finish this line and put the groundworks in, we're gonna go look at the bridge for a second.
Okay, I'm really not that far away. I'll come over and take a look. I'm just deleting some extraneous
I
stressful.
already started doing stuff.
What are you doing, Pharma?
I'm putting the flat bits in so it doesn't look as pointy.
The flat bits?
I told you about this before.
So what doesn't look as pointy? I'm
The arch
confused.
in the middle of the bridge.
Oh, okay.
I know Heist hates switchbacks, so this will also just be nice. He'd never let us add one normally.
Oh, is that
Actually,
why
we
you're
do have a
doing it?
switchback at the log camp. No, I don't know. I picked a random objective that wouldn't ruin anyone else's plans and just started going.
My plans after getting this done was gonna be moving the Y so it fits better, and then moving on to running at least to the refinery some sort of exploratory track, because it's gonna have to be like 3% unless we do some weird switchbacks on it, according to my initial surveying.
You're too late. I'm already over here fixing the Y.
Oh, perfect. And I can just move straight onto the refinery after this.
And seeing I got told I had to change the switches around. So that's what I'm doing. I'm changing the switches around.
Yes, Clown also got yelled at by Pharma, and apparently we're all just
I don't
submissive
like
or something.
switchbacks.
I didn't make a switchback.
No, he does.
It
He's
kinda
saying
is if
for
you're going
going
from the
back and
iron mine to
forward
the-
on it.
Like, from the Ironworks out to the refineries, you have to, like, you go across the bridge, pull up, then you'd have to switch back onto the Y and then start going out, because that's where the line out's going to be.
So
Yeah, I realised that afterwards that the silly Y was in the wrong spot.
And see, I didn't get yelled at all for putting a Y in at the wrong spot. Just you for putting the switch in the middle of the Y.
Well, you
Why
could put it
already
anywhere else.
existed. I've, like, well, you know, this is Clown we're talking about. He'd surely see that the Y is in the wrong spot and just not put a switch there. And then he did, so I had to be disappointed. Clown, I'm so disappointed in you, son.
Aww.
Pharma's passed down his judgment. It's tragic.
Well,
I don't know what the neighbor's doing, but my floor is vibrating. It's 9:15. Why are you vibrating my floor or your roof?
It's not a great question to ask at 9:15, Nick. You never know.
are you deleting, are you?
I was. Now I'm just deleting
Okay.
groundwork. so it'll be intermittent since I have longer pieces. Actually, I should go read chat. Weird in concept, but
Streamer.
need an execution. Wish you could find it somewhere. It's probably on the internet, good for stealing. Tristan got yelled at for language. We should
fair.
get Captain America bot in here or something.
Yeah,
Speaking
that's
of
also
pizza,
true.
Edward, I actually had pizza just yesterday. Thank you. I think I posted about it too because we were talking about pizza in one of the general chats. I don't remember which server. Pretty sure it was Railroads Online. Talking about pizza, and I just like, all right, screw it. I'm ordering pizza.
I saw that. The cursor
Was that
scroll
that was yesterday,
generated
right?
Railroads Online pizza chat. I think it was. I'd had pizza that, like 3 days before that, like 3 days in a row before that for some awful reason. But
I mean,
yeah.
it's pizza. You can have pizza as much as you want.
Nutritionally complete.
Exactly.
The triangle doesn't lie. Yeah, no, you're right.
That was my meme.
Apparently, the Reading and Northern is keeping 2102 steamed up through the night, and there have been rumblings about another run tomorrow. Okay. So the 2102 is an actual steam locomotive, and I did get yelled at for calling it reading and not Reading. All right.
Locomotive and reading rail. Oh my god. We should have put pronunciations.
No, it's Reading, this is British.
Yeah, we can
Apparently.
choose back and forth depending on how we're feeling that day, Mick. Come on, keep up with it.
Well, it is America, so.
Standards. Those are for other nations.
Actually, this is narrow gauge.
This
Not
is true.
standard gauge.
Standards. Nice.
Exactly.
Man, we need a walk button in this game. Standard walk cycle is too fast.
What? How do you?
What?
No, that's incorrect. The standard walk cycle is very,
You cut out robot, Tristan.
very slow. Sorry, I tried to. I was sprinting in this game, if you can call it that, and I also.
I just have
unpressed
sprint.
Alt.
I have sprint bound to my W key.
Tristan, you sprint at like 15 miles an hour.
That is far too slow for a video game.
Agreed.
You need to be Usain Bolt out here. Otherwise, it feels like a slug.
It's actually a slog. Excuse you.
No, I knew what I said.
Actually, it's pronounced slough, not slow.
Sly.
Ah.
I think there's an AU. There might be an X in there. It's
All right,
clearly.
so Edward's line that's 5.75% is only 2/3 that, and then it's down 3% for the final third. I'm assuming you mean, well, how does that even work? To get to the coal mine, did you overshoot
why
the top
would you
of
even
it?
do that?
I don't know. He must have gone a weird route or something.
You done something crazy?
Anyway, Mick, I added the flat bits on the arch, so now it actually has like a smooth transition to level back down into arching on either side. Did you want me to add cross struts to the bridge, or just leave it as is?
I mean, if you want, it's not like it won't be hard to delete after if it looks stupid. I just didn't have time to go and try it, and I'm worried that it'll just look stupid anyways.
Yeah, poor Mick was tired after yesterday's episode.
Yep. Alright, that should be all the groundwork, assuming this... There it goes. So that's this line done, and then we can pass on the bridge if necessary. Clown's working on that, so we're going to come over to this yard and take a line off of... actually, this bit here. Right in here. And then come around this way and hopefully bypass the refinery.
So then you have the spare switch coming off.
Did what?
Remember, like, God, it was a week and a half ago now? I sent you the picture of me turning the front end of the yard into a flower, and there was a spare switch coming off the right. Did you want me to quickly go throw that in, or?
No, I'll go throw in the switch now. Oh, I just gotta run over there. This is you pharma hopping in front of me, yes?
Yeah.
Alright.
I decided I too don't actually want to do the cross struts today.
Why so late? Because I had other things going on throughout the day that required my attention. It is 9:20 p.m. on my local time. I think it's the same time for Tristan and also the same time for Heist. Yes, we're all in the same time zone right now?
Yep, as long as you're not in Utah, I guess.
Yeah, in Utah, weirdos. Around the mountain. Oh, Edward went around the mountain south of the freight depot, up to the saddle, and then down to the coal mine. Okay, that makes sense. I can see how you'd get the 5 3/4 there, and then down to 3%. Most people try to do a 3% all the way there, though. At least in the lines I've seen on Minisword.
Yeah, I think I'll stick to my 1.75% line to the coal mine.
You don't want to go up over the saddle.
Not particularly. That's a little bit too much route for normal people.
Fair.
I like the high grades though, because they can make trains go fast when I go down.
Oh, only if you use the shaker machine.
In case you didn't know, he's talking about the climax.
Oh yeah.
C7 you can get up to some speed, it's just it will then also tip on corners.
I got it, Pharma. Let's see, switch right.
Why the cross here?
For extra space, because we have space for it. It just looks nicer when they're spread out more.
You're free to have that opinion, I guess.
Did you really delete
That
that
was the
section of
highest
track?
requirement, wasn't it?
Why did you delete my section of track there?
Huh?
Why did you delete this last piece of track here?
I haven't deleted anything.
Could have sworn I placed it. Pharma looking kind of sus. I'm gonna have to check the VOD.
I mean, go for it. Twitch can... not Twitch, chat can watch you be wrong twice.
I don't know, I'm kind of inclined to blame Pharma regardless.
And this Y, it's really like almost twice the size of what it needs to be.
Yeah, I know.
You went all out.
Yep. 1
No
second.
space for it. Klein, have you seen this over here?
The what way?
On the other side.
I'm in the middle of a spline at the moment.
No, that's fair. I guess I'll just come here and throw on the extra space for the unloading side on the sawmill and the loading side, so we can get longer consists in here.
This is just a survey trestle. I'll come back over it a couple times before actually putting in any semblance of a route.
Why you survey with trestle?
Because it's long and easy to see. And I can up and down the whole grade on the whole thing. Am I close? I guess I have to go to the right. Besides, once I have an ish route, I can try something at like 2.5.
This is a monstrosity.
My trestle or whatever you're doing?
Yeah, whatever I'm doing. No, your trestle's probably fine.
Debatable.
Really thought I could get it in two switchbacks. Not how this is shaping up. No. It's looking more like a 3 to 5 switchback kind of deal.
Oh, goodness. At what grade?
Too much.
Alright.
Just the absolute worst guy, ladies and gentlemen.
So we might be able to do 2.75.
Okay, all frozen. Oh, there I go.
Sorry, I placed in a
I think I was
spline.
deleting some stuff while he was placing the spline.
So the idea here, chat, is we want a nice flat spot up here at the oil field, not the refinery. No, this is the refinery. This is indeed the refinery. I'm correct. So up here at the refinery, we want a good flat spot on this other side here in order to run track through it. So like this track is all going to get deleted. Unfortunately. HumanityKills is, I believe, the one who laid it, but it is getting deleted. I'm going to try to take as many trees out of here as we can, but I don't think we'll be able to get all of them. Since somebody decided that the trees should stay inside the industries.
It looks cursed like that.
But it's
Figured
meant to be
I'd fix
hardcore,
that.
not cursed. Woo!
Stringinator will fix it.
Oh.
Hey,
At least now I
whoever's
can get
flying
that
over the
one.
Ironworks, come over here and look at this nonsense.
Nobody should have flight.
Okay, well. Spooky ghost Harold just flew over the Ironworks. If it's not that.
I mean, I'm running extended, but I haven't given anyone flight, so unless it's Pharma messing with you.
Railroads Online just suddenly became a horror game. Neat. Well, I'll just stay over here then. Ironworks is haunted. Sorry.
It always was a horror game.
Eh,
Haven't you ever looked at that dude?
it's very true, yeah. Just you and him alone in the forest. All the
My
trees are the
favorite is when
same.
his eyes stop rendering.
Oh, no.
No, I was still at the sawmill. I'm making the loading side tracks longer so it can accept longer consists. And I'm doing a terrible job at it, so yeah.
Gotcha.
Hey, now you're not allowed to poke fun at Mickley's track if you're not building better yourself.
Woodcutting Simulator 2020? Anybody?
Another job for the
I am,
Stringinator.
because my track doesn't like derail trains when they run over it.
Neither does mine. I think the only person's
I really
track
missed
here
the
who
left
derailed the
track
train
inside
was
these switches and
Tristan.
derailed trains.
Look, you can't blame Mickley from like a year ago.
She can. Oh, you did end up double tracking the bridge. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Indeed.
he needed to do it to hide as much of the inconsistent bridge segment length as he could.
You know what? It was Clown's
that's
idea
fair.
to double track it. I was going to single track it still.
I heard you
That's
being
right,
very opposed to it, and that was wrong.
Yeah, I came on and fixed it.
Good, thank you, Clown. You've done a good service. I like your fences.
Yeah, I didn't do the fences. That's not me.
Yeah, we'll have
I
actual
don't-
fences and guardrail here real soon, folks.
Yeah, the fences was my idea to keep Heist from falling off.
Oh, he'll find a way. He'll try and jump on top of the fence and send it over the edge. It's the natural video game thing to do.
Indeed.
Why is there a random bit of steel bridge here on the side?
Oh, that's the 7799 bridge. It's historical. You're not allowed to delete it.
All right. Then. That's why I asked.
That was Mickley learning new things.
No, it's historical. The
Yeah,
historical
well, that was
monument.
That's an historical thing, isn't it? When you learn new things.
Yes.
Are we implying that I was dumb beforehand?
No,
We can if you want.
you if you were dumb, you wouldn't be able to learn new things.
There you go.
Debatable.
Technically,
Debatable.
I need to correct my earlier statement because I was implying that you're not currently still dumb. I apologize.
Goodness.
Every day is a learning process. If you don't learn something new each day, you didn't have a good day. Now I've got a corner I'm happy with.
It is
that's
a
long way
historic
from where you had it.
monument, which means it's also historical, so both.
It's historically random.
Oh,
Yeah.
there it goes. Stupid tree.
Okay.
This almost
that should
feels a
be
tad
enough
low.
for, like, trains to go sit on. I don't care enough about this truck easy. I'll keep building it. So, Clown, there's Kings. Not sorry.
Yeah, only because you know I'll come back and build it again if there's kinks in it.
This is
That's
true.
why you put kinks in it. No, tell the whole story.
Huh?
I don't know what
You
you're
know
talking
that I'll
about.
come back and you know that I'll come back and fix it if you leave kinks in the track. You just know that I will do it. That's
Oh.
why you do it.
How about this? Clown, I forbid you from going and fixing that.
And you think that's going to stop me?
If you go and fix that truck, I'm going to go put kinks in the truck you already made. How about that?
That's
Oh,
just
man.
rude.
Agent of Chaos. We can be slight, but rude. It's rude.
Oh,
I'm
no,
deleting my
that's-
switchback.
That's
It's not
just
worth it.
nasty.
He's deleting the
Oh,
switchback,
don't
ladies and
negotiate with
gentlemen.
terrorists, Clown.
Who's the terrorist here?
He is. He's constantly saying like, no, I'll do that. No.
Says
He just sits
you.
there waiting for all of us to do everything so he can go back and do it better. And like, yeah.
Well, it is ending up better, so.
I don't think we can argue if it ends up better.
It's
Sure
true.
we can. It's not narrow gauge.
Some narrow gauge looked fine
It-
at the
It
start.
doesn't matter how neatly you lay this track, it still has those little narrow gauge wobbles in it. I don't care how good you are. It's always going to have the little narrow gauge wobbles and bumps and
Little
things in
narrow
it.
gauge wobbles. No, narrow gauge isn't little.
Have you seen the people doing the sine wave track recently? What's up with that?
I gave them a stupid idea and they did it.
I knew it was one of you.
Sine wave track?
Yeah, they're
It goes
doing
up and down 10%.
Yeah, it's a wave.
I have an interesting theory about that. It might actually be faster to have sine wave track running on straights than it would be to have regular flat track. Just
Yeah, well, he reckoned he was getting 19 on the downside.
because, yeah, like you're
One going in.
getting more speed, but you're still having like the set speed you go up at.
And I still didn't get rid of that bloody gap.
RO speedrun strat then? Sine wave track? Neat.
Not sure I agree with this.
You just don't understand it, man.
Clearly.
You know, it's like a video game thing. It's like this is the Railroads Online version of bunny hopping. You're going up and down a lot. And by doing so, you gain speed.
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
Don't worry, the fat'll die out when we have trains going 65, and every single time you try and have an up and down, they just go flying off the track.
Maybe.
If the fat's right, yeah.
Stupid piece of junk.
It all depends whether or not we get the actual derails programmed into the game in the next update, or whether or not it's just here's the train, go test with it. It's all about doing the track.
Yeah, the spline connections. We gotta do those angled diamonds and see what happens.
Tell you what, I will find a way to derail a train, even if one isn't programmed in. I'm unstoppable.
You are very talented, Pharma.
Hey Glenn, you said 2 switches was, like, of distance was a 25-degree corner, right?
Kind of. You need to go look at the diagram. It's a specific layout on the diagram.
Okay, but it's not greater than 25.
Well, it depends on whether or not you follow the diagram or not. Because it involves both. Oh, why is that floating? It depends on whether or not you use the cross tracks in the right spot.
Let's see.
It'd float.
Yeah, we can probably put a turn back loop on this side. Be tight, but it might work.
Follow a mixed trestle. This is very wobbly.
The trestle, I'm aware.
What happened here?
The weird kinky bit?
Yeah.
I think it's very clear what happened there.
just draw a square root function?
Sure.
Alas.
How are the switchbacks going?
I've terminated the switchback project in favor of exploring the speedy route from log camp to smelter. That sounds more fun and useful.
You talking about throw them off the cliff route?
Almost, just about. I want to be able to take it one way down, very fast, without derails.
Uh-huh.
So wait, what are you doing, Tristan?
Right now, I'm just patching the crappy track back together at the top of the switchback that I deleted, and then I want to walk up to the log camp and scout out a dubious route from the log camp down to the smelter. That's a straight shot, but won't derail stuff. Hopefully, so you can have a fast track down. Sounds fun.
Well, considering the track we have here will only like derail the trains that come down at the same point they derail from speed anyway, I'm not exactly sure that's going to be...
But you still have to switch back. I want a straight route.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Like, you just pull into the iron mine with your load of like tier 3 cars and you grab some hoppers and you go down and you do all that in one trip.
No. For just log camp to smelter, log camp to smelter, that's what I'm trying to solve. That sole route.
This is gonna be interesting.
But
I think I'm gonna have to have a 3%. So what's gonna be coming on this line? Beams and lumber, because we're servicing the
beams,
refinery,
lumber,
the
rails,
oil field, and the coal mine.
tools, and...
Oil?
No, oil won't be on
Maybe
this
the oil,
line. We're
because we're
talking
getting the oil
between
from
the
the
yard
oil
and the
there.
refinery. So that's products to the refinery. So pipes, tools, beams, lumber. So pipes is going to be heaviest.
Rails will probably also use the same track just because like coal mine is...
Yeah, rails will use the same track. That's annoying. Oh,
But yeah, the oil will... Like, we don't care about that right now because we're not talking about that.
well, the oil line specifically for oil is only going to be like 0.5%
Oh, okay.
for the tankers. Because if you take a straight flat out of the refinery, you're like, I don't know, 20, 30 feet above the thing where the oil comes out of the oil field.
Yeah, like you could literally slap a a line straight down in the river from the oil field to the refinery. And
No,
you need to
it
break
won't be
0.5% to get,
it won't
like,
be
the
good.
entire way.
You won't be able to do 1% that way. The river's not flat.
Yeah, the
I know
river
the
flows
river's not
uphill.
flat, but there's not like the 3% sections aren't long enough to be that much of an issue.
You say that, except it's full tankers uphill.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll slow
And
down, but it won't be enough to set a ruling grade on those sections.
Between the refinery and the oil field, it will be 0.5% if I can get it to that. My goal is 0.5%.
Ah. There we go. The corner back in. The Y moved. I just got to fix up the groundworks though. And I don't think I'm going to put stone wall there. I think I'm going to put it all in gravel.
Interesting. I don't know where you're going to get a switch in here to go off towards the smelter.
Oh, dang. Me either. I was hoping you'd help me out with that. It seems doable. I just didn't want to mess up the log camp. We can jump off like at one of the curves down the hill. I'm starting to hike that way. It's a long hike, so
I've decided I'm gonna try the 2.5% again.
Yeah, like there's nowhere here where you can split off, like in the actual log camp itself. And there's like that entire side of the mountain. I guess you could double track and have like a switch off at the end of the Corwood loading side here.
right. Yeah, sounds good.
But double track, yeah, gross.
Nah, it's not double track. They're not the same destination.
And it
It's
kind of is
side
double
by
track, though, 'cause
side
if you're
track.
going like that far, like if you're going all the way down the smelter, you're passing by the sawmill.
Alright, never mind.
Trying to think.
3%.
Have you put the line to that on the end of the loadouts from the sawmill, or have you gone off the end of the yard?
Mix 2.5, he's doing it from the yard.
So it's from like the middle of the yard. So on entry out of the entry of the yard.
Okay, I would have done it out of the other end of the sawmill myself. Brought the two lines back together again, and
It's just
Nickley, are you even looking at chat anymore? I don't know. I'm not looking at chat.
no,
but-
I haven't looked at chat. I should give them some love.
Such a
Sorry,
bad
chat.
Chat doesn't deserve love.
No, you.
1% up to the iron mine. That would be an excessively long line.
Iron mine? No. Between the yard and the refinery. Let's see.
No, in the chat. Omega Falcon, I have a 1% up to iron and coal mine. And a 4% downward shortcut to smelter from iron mine. 1%, that would be so excessively long.
We're talking about peppers, something
There's
spice.
like a differential of, I want to say, around 60-ish, 67 meters from the sawmill.
Yep, from the
Maybe
sawmill.
61.
Which means you've got to make it as half as long again as what I made my track.
Isn't your sawmill to the iron mine 1.75?
1.5.
Yeah, so it'd only be 1.5 times as long then.
Hey, Meckley, could I have fly really quick, please?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
half as long again, so it's 1 plus another
By the
half
bridge.
length.
Not really. You're above the bridge.
But yeah, 600 meters isn't that bad.
Yeah. Thank you.
Just let me know when you want it off.
Thanks.
Disable his flight.
No, please. I was just trying to get up towards where you were at, Pharma. Assuming you were up at the logging
Yeah,
camp.
I'm just sitting here at the logging camp.
Yeah.
Just a wobble I didn't want.
But yeah, if you want to no brakes, no derail all the way down, then you want to keep it like around like 5% or lower.
Right. I was wondering if we could come around this side of the mountain and run down this side.
Because
What are your thoughts on that? Like if we split it here and went down this side?
I can't see where you are.
Oh, I'm right next to you. Ugh. Floating.
Ditch his flight. His flight is bad.
Yeah, my flight's bad. Help. Thanks. Right here, around this left side.
You were initially planned to put the line.
I don't have that previous information, but tell me what happened.
I wanted to put the line here. Mickley said no. Clown agreed with Mickley. And then they got all the way out there and they're like, man, we're still like so far up. And they eventually concluded that, yeah, we did have to do a switchback to actually keep the grade sane.
Well, that's fair. But you're trying to get to a destination a lot closer, right? You're trying to get to the Iron Mine.
You asked me which side I reckon we should build down, and I said the right-hand side, the side we went down. Because if we'd have gone down the other side, there's no way we would have got there.
Not without like a 10%, but if they're only throwing cordwood down it,
Yeah, it's just for a login.
Logs and we'll speed up.
and I mean it's quite literally
Right.
throwing cordwood down it, we'd be pulling a con, because I'm
No,
pretty sure he
Mickley,
built.
That's not good.
Did he not build a 10% grade to get his cordwood down
Very
that
good.
thing?
Yeah, and then he also threw a high slow in the front with full brakes and full reverser, and only had 6 cars of cordwood anyway. So that's about all you need to know about throwing 10% track willy-nilly around.
We won't 10% it. That's dumb. I just feel like you could get around the left side of the mountain.
Well, I'm just saying that Heist has a roller coaster on his
I'm
map
just
that he
saying, if you're
uses
doing only
as.
cordwood, you want to keep your grade to above 5%, because if you go
Below
below 5%,
5.
because you go above 5%, then you're going to start speeding up above 25 miles an hour, and then your cars will throw themselves off the track, even if there's no engine attached.
Even with
Fair
full
enough.
brake. Even with full
So-
brake on all the cars.
The alternative would be to split off earlier, or right here, I guess, and go down. What percentage is this track? Is this track?
This is 6% all the
This
way.
is 6% all the way. Okay.
It was between 6.25 and 6.5. But yes, after I went through and relayed it, it's now 6.
I'm just pointing out,
Yeah, I
we
want
spent
you
like
to look at
several
how much it comes
hours.
back towards the
We
iron
spent
part.
several hours making
at
that stupid
6%.
roller coaster on Heist's map, and he uses it. I see no reason why we can't have a similar thing if we're just throwing cordwood down it.
Woodwood's heavy.
'Cause Heist
So
is
are
not
loaded
because it's
hoppers.
dumb.
Oof. It's true though. You could say that. We were
It's
all
like
there.
Six stacked wood trestles high, and it just like juts off into the fucking space.
All right. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but this
Australia
one would
did
be
it.
attached to a mountain, so it'd only be 1 trestle high. Maximum.
The mountain pulls away fast.
So you're
In the
saying it
immortal
can't be
words of
done.
Some people I saw in a river once. It goes down.
Are you saying you can't do it, Pharma? It's too hard for you.
I'm not saying I can't do it. I'm saying I won't do it because it looks stupid.
Hmm.
And like instead of coming across the middle of the mountain there where you did, if you had went 4% and gone around the next spot where you could get around, it actually would have given a better grade all the way to the bottom. But yes, it would have added, another third of the length of the track back in again. It would have to get a third more the length.
Why am I doing this on this side? Why don't we just come around the back side? That's way easier.
And it already is quite a long track.
But yeah, as it stands right now, the Climax can safely do 16 loaded Corwood cars down this without having to worry about it. So I'm not this track. I think is fine.
Yeah, as long as you use a geared loco on it.
Yeah, I
This
don't think
track
we
is
need
great.
to do extra track laying just for running Corwood.
I was just worried about the cost savings of time getting straight down to the cordwood line. And I totally understand. This track is max laying, so that's fine. I did not understand that. But if that's what it is.
About the cost saving of having, an extra 2 kilometers of track.
If you're going real fast, I don't know. If you still have to stop, throw a switch, and get out and restart going the other way, slowly down the line from the Ironworks to the whatever sawmill, when you could just...
Down that.
But you spend a lot of time speeding up. I mean, I just feel like if you could keep going straight, you'd still handedly beat any other train.
Switchback only takes 30 seconds.
Right. Those same 30 seconds you could spend flying down the line. Anyway, I mean, I can't argue anymore on that. You've done the math, so I'm just walking down the line now. And I really don't see another way I'd do it.
About hundreds of $1,000s a track, another million workers dead, so you can shave an extra minute out of a 10-minute run.
Sounds like the railroad. And I think we had 13 dead last stream I was on, so not a million. Nowhere near it.
Calling that a good thing?
Everyone's like, oh yeah, 13's fine. Man.
Actually, only 13 people died.
And there were no comments. Okay, neat.
Oh, speaking of comments, everybody leave a comment of your favorite flavor of gummy worm. I don't even know if you can comment on the live stream.
Sour?
Well, yeah, you got sour, and then you got the different colors, too. The colors have different flavors.
What? No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Gummy worm?
You've never even eaten a gummy worm.
Depends
You're
on
calling
what
yourself
brand
out
you
on
get.
it.
It depends on what brand you get. Some of the brands actually do flavor.
Which brand does flavor, huh?
I believe it's Southers.
Hmm.
Southers are the one I like. The red and blue ones.
Uh-huh. Must be a weird
I don't
brand.
even know
You
what
probably
they
like
are.
the orange ones, you weirdo.
They don't. They all have the same flavor up here, where it makes sense.
Do they
They're-
sell those in Australia, Farmer?
Yeah, we have gummy worms. I mean,
Okay.
I think they're actually, just called gummy worms.
I'm not-
Like in the,
I-
not in like supermarkets, but in like Target, you'll see the gummy products generally because
Where-
they're like a bit more on the pricier end. We have Australian alternatives like Allen's Snakes or something.
Yeah, Allen snakes, but they're like a raspberry tube. Or pineapple or orange flavour.
I'm a killer python man myself.
See, these are definitely Australian names. I don't know where Mickley is pulling Southers out of. That's fake.
No, it's not.
Prove it. Send a picture of one. Dox yourself. You won't.
We also have sour squirms, which I think are meant to be worms, like the sour.
Oh, it's
gummy worms.
Sathers. My bad.
Oh, there you go.
I was one
Sathers
letter
more
off,
like
you.
Satyrs, because that's your existence, Lamau.
Got him. I still have no
So
idea what
funny.
brand that is. It's not something I'm
It's
familiar
the one.
with.
It's the red bag.
The red bag. Ah, yes.
Ugh. All right. How about the Haribo Twin Snakes? You like those? Haribo's a well-known brand.
Haribo is a well-known brand. You can just Google that. You're known for Googling things. But
Did not.
I know they're.
Their
I know
Twin
they're,
Snakes are
they're
sour
gummy
and
bears.
delicious. All right.
Sour and delicious. Is that a flavor? I mean, you asked your chat what flavor they like, and I'm still pretty sure there's only sour and not.
Boo.
Boo. There's your rebuttal, folks. Ice from on top of the mountain, and it is gorgeous.
You did
Man, I
what at the
swear,
top of the
every single
mountain?
time that bot pings me because someone said roller coaster, someone else coming like, "Yo, that's so like, bad. Like, turn it off." And I'm like, "What? Why are you getting offended for me? I'm a person who has words I can use. Stop that."
It was his idea to be pinged.
That bot's bullying him.
He deserves it.
Someone save him. I've cut down some trees so I can get a better view of the bridge from up here, and it is glorious.
The Mega Bridge?
Yes.
Good. Glad you like it.
Oh, I can't move. What's going on?
It's fine. I had.
I'm
used
deleting
time I had
stuff,
power to
sorry.
make the bot periodically steal Mickley's name, so it's fine.
You did what now?
And the bot will periodically steal your name.
Mm-hmm. Is it gonna ping me when it does that?
No, you're just going to log into Discord one day and you're going to see the turtle with MCR Mickley strapped to his name.
Nice.
I said I could do whatever I wanted as long as it only affected you.
Uh-huh.
Neat.
I'm pretty sure your powers over stealing my name were revoked.
Seems like a too late kind of problem.
I'm sure I seen him say, "Hey, do you really want that extra admin above Mickley?" I'm pretty sure that's what I heard him say.
Where is everybody? Farmer, are you still at the logging camp?
No, I came down here.
I'm connecting the
Ah,
Ironworks
yes.
to the-
Here. Where be
below
thou?
the
Line.
iron mine.
Oh, you're way below the iron mine? Like below the iron mine, like
Yeah.
down the track? Or below the iron mine, like below the iron mine in the valley?
Like below the iron mine, like jump off the cliff.
Oh, okay.
My
Are you
apologies,
trying to
chat. My
rescue-
phone keeps buzzing.
You trying to rescue that locomotive that got thrown down there?
Not rescue.
Oh no.
But yes, it's part of my purpose.
I thought we were leaving that to stand as a monument as is.
But it's not visible there.
Isn't that the point? We all know it's there, but we don't talk about it.
No, I'm going to put it somewhere where it'll be visible, and we still won't talk about it, and it'll just be like a running gag.
Hmm. Yeah, I know you guys can't hear the phone. That's why I was pausing. So I was explaining myself for having stopped moving.
Where are you at right now, McLean Fall?
I'm approaching the yard. I gotta figure out how to get this line up here in a reasonable manner.
And Clown, where are you at?
I am at the bottom of the hill from the iron mine, deleting groundworks, so I can put the finished groundworks in. And
Very
I'm
nice.
currently working back towards the big bridge with the delete tool going.
Clown, approximately how many switch lengths do you have to have in order to form a Y? Like, of space.
5.
Well, you need to make a triangle. So from a cross
So,
track in the middle, you've got to go 2 to the north, 2 to the east, and 2 to the west. And that puts a 25-degree curve in on one of them, one of the sides. And that's the side with the turnout.
and the other two sides are more than 25? Or less? I'm assuming
They
less.
actually turn out less.
Okay.
Who laid
Oh,
the
yes, yeah.
steel bridge out here to the oil refinery?
That's me.
Oh, okay.
This is painful. I got knocked off of the hill from the
Oh,
jerking.
no.
Someone deleting again.
I'm not anymore.
Oh, Farmer, are you gonna build your barrel loader on stream, or are you gonna do it offhand?
I'm gonna do it on stream, but like, it's kind of early for that.
Is it? I'm just sitting over here at the walking by. There's a lot of track over
Like,
here
we
already.
haven't even run to the coal mine yet, or the Ironworks. We're still a ways off doing refinery oil.
Where
loading.
is the coal mine again?
Normal place.
It's normal location.
Oh, okay.
You can tell this man doesn't play much Railroads Online, for he has to ask where the coal mine is.
In a map where all the other industries are moved.
I still think the smelter should have been one of the industries that moved. Basin's stupid.
Isn't that part of the point?
Put the logging camp there, so logs actually have to go uphill.
Yeah, well, that would have been my thought, was that the logging camp should have been at the bottom of the mountain, because when you chop down the tree, they don't fall up a hill. They fall down the mountain.
But then on the other hand, this is magical video game logic, so let's just assume they have like a Minecraft tree farm set up underneath the logging camp. Yep.
Yeah, that's probably pretty accurate.
Oh,
What?
I started jerking again. Someone was deleting. I really don't want to fall off the track here.
You scared, Potter?
You wish. Oh, there's the line. I'm just running to the forest, trying to go north, I think.
Little
no
bitty
idea.
Tristan running through the forest.
Scooping up the field mice.
Bopping them on the head. I'm glad we all know that.
It's good. Oh, I found the end of rail. Walking towards the coal mine from the refinery.
Yeah, that rail is getting deleted.
Yeah, I was just scouting it. Stops here. Is it too low?
It
It's
has
too
a
low.
grade. You can do it level. You don't need a grade. I did see the DM. Yes, we are going to have some grade issues with this, but it's just par for the course. Right now it's just getting a reasonable looking thing in here. So I think it's going to be like a 1.5-ish. That's annoying. That to be a 2.5. Check the other side. Hoping the other side isn't as much, but it's probably going to be something similar. 1.5 and that's 2.5. Okay.
Okay, I'm heading back over to the smelter now. Because I still got to fix up your little wobble, don't I?
What wobble?
The wobble that you couldn't finagle out of the end of the bridge
The end
onto
of
the loading
bridge?
docks. Between the
Oh,
bridge and the docks.
No, that's the
Oh.
first thing I did.
Ironworks. Oh, you fixed that?
Yeah. Fix
Okay.
that and put in the finished groundworks. Obviously, none of it's sunk up there because the bridge isn't sunk, but...
So what's going on underneath the bridge there? Or is that farmer under there
I built a
Re-
platform.
rejigging the bottom?
No?
Oh, I see what's going on. He's gonna... I know what he's gonna do.
Gonna hang a caboose.
Don't ruin it.
You hang in a caboose.
No, he's not hanging caboose. He's not hanging caboose. I'll say the incorrect plural for it. He's not hanging the caboose. Oh, I hate falling down mountains.
Have you considered just not?
Oh, well, I was trying that method. It wasn't agreeing with me.
Oof.
In with the bridge.
See you, Midland. Have a good night. So I am adding in a Y.
Again.
I'm adding in a Y to the side of the yard to get onto the line because it's just that annoying.
We just had a Y there. Why are you adding more Ys?
So the one Y is at the yard entry. This Y is at the side of the yard.
Yeah, why so many Ys so close together?
Why not?
Why yes?
Oh,
It sounds like you're just laying track for the sake of laying track.
It needs it in order to get the correct entry point on this stupid line to keep it at 3%.
and do you have the autosave running?
Yeah, the autosave's been running. I've checked it a couple times.
That little bridge is in. Some stuff under it.
What's the bridge in the thumbnail? We can go look at it real quick. So just over here, around this way, is the big bridge. I'll check up on Pharma, see what he's doing. You've noticed there's the Ironworks right there. Oh, he's putting the Heisler under the bridge. Are you at least chaining it? Oh, what is that? Alright, well, we'll have to come see what Pharma does with this. But yeah, this is the bridge in the thumbnail. All built by hand. And then back to building our stupid Y.
Oh, did you check the
Yeah,
twin tracks coming off of this end? Because I only just got it all finished.
which end of what? The bridge?
Yeah, the other side end of the bridge, the side that goes to the sawmill.
I'm not working there.
Oh, okay. I thought you must have flown over to see what was going on.
I flew over to go show the bridge off because chat wanted to see it. And we saw Pharma hanging up a Heisler like a Christmas ornament.
Yeah, okay. I suppose it's sort of all right.
It took more than 3 hours to build that bridge. It,
No, I was talking about your long wobble between the end of the bridge and the
oh
are they
no,
loading or unloading?
I'm talking to
They're
chat.
that loading.
The bridge definitely took more than 3 hours to build. It was built probably in about 7 hours total. What do you think, Clown? That sound about right?
Yeah, about 7 hours total because there was 3.5 hours for the first time, and then there was another 3.5 hours for the second time. So yeah,
Yeah.
about 7.
Not all of it was bridge, but for the most part, probably close to 6 to 7 hours.
Yeah, you did about 4 hours, but then there was 2 of us working on it as well. That was just the construction of the bridge. That doesn't include any of the track over it. Because I
Yep.
stuffed around for 2 hours getting the track to line up to it properly.
It's
What
true.
are you doing, farmer?
He's hanging up the Heisler.
Magic.
It's like seesawing.
I'm excited to see it once he's done.
If you let that go, is it going to fly away? Is that really hanging there in that position?
Not currently, no. I think it might try and fly away though because I've just accidentally done a thing I wasn't supposed to do.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen when you let it go. But it's not going anywhere. It looks like it's actually stuck between the two. Oh, there it goes. It got spat out.
Oof.
No, I re-rolled it down here. I was just measuring where I need certain pieces of track to be.
Clown, did we decide on a name for the bridge in the last episode? Midweek episode? I don't think we did we?
Oh, we need to find a name for it. It needs a name. So yeah,
Because the small bit off to the side has a name. The double seven
yeah,
double
that's
nine.
just the 7799.
I think it
Do
might end
remember
up just
that?
be. It might end up just being called Heisler Bridge if Pharma succeeds.
Yeah, I'm gonna park that there for a bit. It was a little in the way.
Mark it all the way down there.
My floor is vibrating again. I still don't know what it is. I don't hear any reverb or anything. Oh, that's a good one. Ornament Bridge? You know, like Ornament Valley?
The Pine Valley Bridge. Because it leads to the Pine Valley Ironworks. Actually, is it just Pine Valley or is it Summit River and Pine Valley?
I don't know.
I believe it's Summer River in Pine Valley.
Oh, we've got a new model to look at. A Carter Brothers water tank.
Hmm. We had a guy in chat. When I started my first save, I was just trying to decide the name of the railway. I was going to call it Pine Valley Railroad, but didn't think that sounded right. And then he pulled up to the sawmill, where it's got the Pine Valley Lumber Co. all emblazoned all over it.
Like it was meant to be.
Indeed. And this bridge is giving me all sorts of trouble.
Oh, wow, they flung away in a hurry.
Must you be deleting right this second?
Yes. You want me to stop?
Here.
I can run
He's
for a
making-
bit.
He's making bridges go bye-bye.
I am, or Pharma is?
You are. I'm watching you on the stream.
Oh,
It's got about a 20-second delay, hasn't it?
something like that. I was gonna say, if Pharma's deleting my bridge, I'm gonna go slap him. Or something.
No, he's just making things dangle from it.
Alright, I gotta delete for a second because I need this bit out of the way.
Get someone else to delete it for you so we're not experiencing lag of host deleting things.
Does it only happen when the host is deleting stuff?
Yes.
Well, I'm done now,
Oh.
so there.
So you couldn't feel it when I was deleting tracks earlier?
No.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, James in the chat. I wouldn't want to name my Railway Queensland Rail. You're likely to go broke. You guys can't feel that when I'm deleting this track here.
Not at all.
Nope.
Okay.
Felt the spline place,
Yeah.
though.
It was only a short one. I'm just rebuilding one of those little sections on the bridge where it had a tiny little wobble in it.
Gotcha.
How do you build a wobble into straight track?
Because sometimes the track doesn't place in a straight line. Even though you're using, the alt lock, it veers off to one side. And you've got to build over it and try again.
Hi, clown.
Yeah, I'm just coming to see what madness you're doing here. Whoa. It actually looks like the bell's hanging on the bottom of the bridge for me. Just the bell.
Oh, man.
Okay, Brown, the secret to getting smooth corners is to keep every segment the same length. And that's all the trick there is to it. If you alter the length, it alters the radius for each segment you put down. So if you want to keep basically the same radius through every single segment in your corner, you've got to keep every segment the same length.
Where are you guys at? Yell at the bridge.
I'm at
Yeah,
the
I'm sitting there
yard.
watching. I'm watching what Farmer's doing.
Nice.
About to employ the clown technique of using guide track.
No, that's not guide track. Oh, you're going to put guide track over that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of done it backwards. There's a reason why I've done the string line with stone wall and then put the guide track on that and then snap the steel bridge. It's so that you can delete the groundwork and not the steel bridge.
Well, I mean, after
Nick.
placing the guide track, I'm just gonna go back over it again, delete all the bridge out, and then put the bridge back in, is all. So it's just deleting a little bit sooner than you do. What's up, Tristan?
I am once again asking for fly, please.
I
Where
am
you
once
at?
again asking for your financial support.
I'm Near the
Let
river,
us see
but up a
let us
hill.
see what's going on here.
Which river?
The river that goes towards the coal mine. I'm pretty far up a hill, not in the river anymore. I'm up a hill towards the iron mine. I'm actually really close to the logging camp. Looking now.
That's me and Farmer that are under the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually at the logging camp. I just realized. Thank you.
Are you trying to get that to stay upside down?
I'm trying to make it hang here. And I know I can roll backwards and forwards on this because it's technically on rails.
Are you good,
I just
Kristen?
don't want it to roll off the edge.
Almost not yet. Yeah, go ahead and take it away.
Like,
Thank
this
you.
technically isn't the railed right now.
Yeah, I can see it's on the track going backwards and forwards.
Oh, didn't like that.
Oh,
Okay, I think it's just gonna sit like... Oh no, it's coming off the side.
What's the maximum degree of curvature you usually use on the guide track in terms of for the finish track?
exactly the same.
Okay.
What you put in with the guide track will match what you put in with the... Because it doesn't matter what length of segment you place, as long as all the segments are the same length, then you'll get the same corner. So if you put them in at 9, it'll make the same corner as if you put them in at full tie length, full segment length.
Okay.
Folks, I'm going to sign off for the evening. Have a good one.
See you, Tristan.
All right, see you later.
Damn, he's getting an early night for once.
No, I'm going to go do secret projects.
Secret projects. I know you got to leak a little bit.
Well, railroad
Is it-
infrastructure.
Is it that crisscrossy thing you were making?
I did that earlier when
Is that finished?
when
Is it?
Pharma swatted down my idea for a long track. I was just standing in the forest working on that. Now I'm gonna go work on the other thing. Aha!
Yeah, the crisscrossy thing. So where exactly have you gone here?
Talking to me?
Yeah, well, you're the one I'm coming over to see what you're doing. And there's another Y here.
I did mention that.
So what grade did you reckon you put this in at?
Roughly 3. I'm fairly sure it's 3.
Because, yeah, I'm going to put a transition in the bottom.
But how much is it actually?
3,
It
I'm
looked like
pretty
it was
sure.
3. Yeah, it looked like it was 3. Because when I put in the transition, it kind of said it was 3. Yeah, I think some of these corners are a little bit,
Yeah, I'm not doing anything more than a 29 on the guide track.
yeah, like this corner here, this is a, like a 50.
Yeah, I know. I need to work on that turnaround. It's just, I don't know. I'm either going to have to tighten up the Y or move
It's-
it more.
It's not going to fit.
Don't have another place to put it. Unless we do it without a
Yeah,
Y. But Pharma said
Well,
he wanted a
you-
Y, so
Why do you need a Y to the back end of the guard?
to pull out of it.
Huh?
Need to do a little experiment here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, is that all you get?
What?
Really?
What?
Oh, I'm just doing some measuring.
Terrible news, gang. It's gone.
You dropped it through the map?
You spat it through the
It
map.
fell
Oh,
in
you
the
land.
water.
Oh, if it lands in the water, it's gone.
Is it gone, or just in the water?
Gone,
Oh,
gone.
if it lands in the water, and as soon as you try to pick it up, that's it. It just falls straight through whatever you put it on then.
Can't you chuck it into the air first to get it out of the water?
No.
it still retains its property of, nah man, I'm fucking dead.
Yeah, it still thinks it's under the map. It's got something to do with the water plane being below the, if it goes underneath the water plane, it thinks it's underneath the map. As soon as you sit it down, it just goes through the map. Yeah, you don't fit a corner in here. It doesn't matter what you do, you ain't fitting a corner in here. I'm like, you get up to 33 degrees.
I'm really feeling this. I had it too, it was hanging.
I'm gonna do another experiment.
Clown does experiments.
I do.
I'm currently
How come
experimenting.
you don't break the game then?
Because I don't do game-breaking experiments. I do quality of life experiments.
I think we crashed extended. Yep.
Extended crashes a lot in this map. I think it doesn't like the moved industries.
I've only had this crash once. Let's give some love to chat. People leaving. 15 miles an hour. They need to be fairly close to the same length for there not to be an issue with this spline.
I'm still of the mind that when you can minimize the number of control points you have in your spline overall, it's going to also help the overall smoothness of the spline.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, it does in literally every other game that has spline placing of anything, Clan, so I fail to see how this is going to be an exception.
Because it doesn't in this game. You need a higher resolution of control points.
Because it doesn't isn't a reason it's not going to.
Well, that's exactly what it is.
Like, every point you place out is going to be another point the game's going to have to drag a curve between that is not going to be the same as a pure mathematical curve that could be generated if you had the minimum number of points required to make that curve.
Because it's a Bezier curve.
Okay. I fail to see how that's relevant at all. This isn't the first game with splines that use Bezier curves.
Yeah, extended has died, so I'm gonna have to remember to save. Often. So it looks like the Y is gonna have to move.
Because you've got better control over where the curve's going if you've got a higher resolution of control points.
Stay there.
Yes, but you don't have better control over the consistency of the curve.
That's just it. When you lay them side by side and you compare them, you actually do.
You actually don't.
Rightio. Well, when you build track that looks like mine, I will take what you say as being gospel. But until I see it, you're full of shit.
I mean, give me 2 control points that don't have to be 10 meters apart, so I can actually build a curve using the minimum number of control points instead of having a dozen or so control points in every single curve.
They're not 10 meters apart. A 9-tie segment is exactly half the length of a full segment. So you're basically placing half segment pieces.
Yes, but you still have to place a number of them.
Yes, twice as many, because it's
If you
half the
only have to
length.
place
So
2,
you've got a
then
so you've got a
just
high
erased the
resolution.
entire necessity of smoothing out your curve, because there can't be inconsistency in the curve.
But if you only place 2 control points, that's a straight line. You've got to have a minimum of 3 control points to make a curve. And well, the problem with the way the curves work in this is your first and last control points don't have any weight on them.
Yeah, so it generates a sinusoid, which you can control for.
No, it actually doesn't even do that. Because it actually weights, it puts the weight forward or backwards on the direction you build. It's actually weighting the points backwards on the spline. And that's why the first and the last segments do.
With the new splines also.
It is still the case with the new splines, because if you start and end without connecting to another point, it is exactly the same as the splines we're placing now. But if you connect onto existing track, it will inherit the weighting of the existing track. However, if you've already,
the moment
if you ever
first point down, it's irrelevant.
I fail to see how that's irrelevant.
Your track to track.
No, when you start a track, you've got to put a point down connected to nothing. So the first spline that you place has got a first and a last segment, that the first and the last control points on that spline do not have any weighting on them.
Yes, which they don't need to, because the very first segment you're going to place is going to be a straight line anyway as you come out of the yard.
Okay, and then you end. When you end your spline,
then, you're building all your future segments onto the additional splines that you already have made.
When you stop your spline mid-corner, like with the current system, you can stop your spline mid-corner and you can continue to build from mid-corner and not lose your curve. And in the new splines, you will still need to delete the last segment and connect to the second last control point to be able to continue the curve. It's the only difference is you will not have to overlap a segment to gain the weighting of the control point. But you'll still have to delete the first and the last segments because they don't conform to the curve.
Technically, we don't actually know any of this for sure.
Yes, but that was never in contention anyway.
It's mathematics.
I mean, we still all have to
Nice.
wait for the update to actually come out to experiment with the actual implementation. I suspect it's not going to be quite the way you're
3.
describing.
Well, it's mathematics, and well, you've been to university, haven't you, and done advanced trig?
Yeah, but we don't know that he's used those specific maths to do it, and there's also ways to take
Well,
in.
he's told us that he's using weighted Bezier curves, so that's how it works.
Yes, but did he? We don't know if he's changing that with the spline update or not. One thing I've seen done is they project the curve, so they automatically have the curve weighted in, so they don't actually show the last segment as it is in game. It's just a projected point when drawing the curve. So that's one way that I could see it being implemented.
And well, I'm also going on what I've seen on the test piece of track that's was built there, and you can see it wobbles left before it turns right, much like what our tracks do or in here. And that as well tells me it works the way I'm describing that it'll work. Because that's the maths that sort of ends up with that shape of curve.
Yes, and that was never in contention. I've even already posted pictures. You've seen where you just pre-kick the 2 points you need to generate your curve out.
What were we arguing about then?
Overall, the consistency of the curve is going to be smoother when you have fewer control points that you need to draw a line between. Because your placing by eye is not going to be as precise as a computer generating the curve that needs to exist in that space.
I never place by eye, I always use the...
You're still placing by eye because you need to judge the measurement of each individual segment.
No, you're measuring it on the number of tires and on a pixel change between when it changes from one particular. It's the same as when you're placing the bridge between the...
Which isn't precise.
It is. I can place the exact same length of track every single time.
So I think Farmer's talking about his curve where you have the start and end, and then there's 2 points that you use to make a curve on. And then Clown, you're talking about by hand saying the complex curve, which would require the evenly spaced control points to have the complex curve. Whereas Farmer's talking about the complex curve being generated already by the 2 control points that he's talking about. Assuming I'm remembering the image you're talking about correctly.
Well, you've got to have at least 3 control points before you get a curve. There's 2 control points in a straight line.
So the start and the end, and then 2 in the middle.
Well, that's 4 control points.
Sure. But that's the image you're talking about, Farmer, right?
2 of which are actually defining the curve. The rest of it is defining the rest of the track.
But that's the image that you're referencing that I'm talking about? Do I got that correct?
What channel is this?
You posted an image a while ago where it was essentially a 90-degree curve through 4 control points. Start, end, and 2 in the middle, yes?
What channel have you just put that in?
I don't remember what channel you put it in.
No, you didn't repost it. But yes, that is the curve I'm talking about.
Okay.
So you have the first point, which is the end of your straight. The 4th point, which is the continuation into a different straight, and then you have the 2 points in between those that define the attributes of the curve. And if you only have those 2 things that you need to define the attribute of the whole corner, then you're going to get a more consistent corner out than if you had to use, say, 10 pieces to define that curve. Because as much as, like, you know, you can pray to your alt lock and pixel management, you're not going to get to within the 20,000 positions of precision that the Unreal Engine is going into.
And I'll say it again, when you show me track that you have built that works like the track that I built, then I'll say, yep, you're right. But until then, you're not.
So you know when you draw a curve in like paint,
Demonstrate it.
in like Paint Clown, so they have their own little curve tool.
Yeah, I've done that. And it doesn't make a nice curve at all.
If you get good spacing, it does.
It sounds like you haven't been very good at making curves in Clown.
Well, there's a difference between making curves in Paint and making a curve in game. With the current in-game tools, it's perfectly valid to be using more control points all evenly spaced. And assuming the system changes in the way I think it'll change, then either system could work. And again, this is all speculation, and we actually have no clue about how it's going to change because none of us are actually working on the code. If you guys want to just take a look at the chat real quick, that's kind of funny. See, I'm just here mediating between the couple, alright? They've got a nice lover spat going on about Bezier curves, and I'm just here like, we don't know how it's gonna work yet, guys. It's all speculation.
And we've been told how it's going to work.
Secondhand.
No, Creamy's replies to highs on the Q&As, and it's exactly the same as it does now.
I can get that thrown out as hearsay,
but with weighted control points on the end of the spine.
I can still get that thrown out as hearsay.
When the hell did an iron mine get an uneven amount of stuff put in it?
When people started bringing up full loads of just beams and then full loads of just lumber instead of bringing up equal amounts.
Why are they doing that?
Blame Tristan.
Tristan wasn't playing last week.
Doesn't mean we can't still blame him.
Tristan has never even run anything on the iron mine, ever.
You sure about
There's been
that?
a brakeman on the line that goes to the logging camp every single stream.
I actually think it was HumanityKills was running the Eureka up and down with the things out of the sawmill on it. And while I was being brakeman on the running to the smelter with the iron ore. After I finished building in the smelter. Yeah, I still don't think you're going to get a curve in there. Go back the other way. Before you put that in at.
The track I'm currently placing?
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get... Oh, you might get the curve back the other way. But I don't think it's going to meet up with this Y you've got. How tight did you make the curve on the Y?
25.
25.
Yep. Coming in on the longer side, it's less.
Oh, yeah, because your Y's not a 90. You've got more of a curve on one end than you got on the other.
Yep.
And there is a trick to fix that as well.
I really don't think there is. Like,
Still
it's
can't tell
they're
one side of
physically
the yard is
distant
gonna
from one
drop.
another.
Yeah, but you've got a straight coming off of the... You've got about 5 meters of straight coming off the turnout, and you don't have to have 5 meters of straight coming off the turnout. It can be straight into the curve. Which will take that little wobble that you've got to the left out of it. Any of the Queensland Rail ones, well, most of the ones that Queensland Rail have got there, the American iteration of them are already on the tech tree. Most of the early Bourbons that we got here in Queensland, they're already on the tech tree, just the American iteration of them. Well, I can't imagine them sending over a complete locomotive on a ship from the US. So I dare say they got them as semi-assembled kits in a box and put them together here and modified them as they needed to. But that's just a guess. I don't know if that's what they actually did. Did I remove that stuff that I was below, or did? I suppose it almost also made a difference there as well.
We are not exactly trained, guys. I don't know what you're talking about. James Newman. We just like the train game. We're not train guys. There's a possible maybe something coming out at some point in the future that will show just how little we know about trains.
Yeah, well, the AC-16 is a 282 Baldwin.
Have you Googled that, or you know that off the top of your head?
No, I've got it up here on the, and it's a US ATC S18 class.
So you have Googled it.
United States Army Transport Corps S18 class. Built either on 3-foot or 1 metre gauge. And of course adapted in Queensland to 3-foot 6-inch. And it's number 190, 192, 195, 218, 221. Well, the 218 and 221 are Australian ones. North Carolina, Tennessee, and Alaska. And all on White Pass, the Yukon. And it is called Klondike Kate. And don't we have Klondike Kate on the latest version? Let's go and have a look.
I don't have the tech tree memorized.
Actually, I got it saved.
I'm still waiting for someone knowledgeable to put which ones are coal engines, which ones are wood engines, which ones are diesel engines.
Didn't I say he was going to do that?
And then he didn't.
I don't think any of them are diesel. We might get oil burners, but we don't have any diesels on the tech tree.
Whatever.
East Broad, Sumter Valley,
Liquid fuel engine, go burr.
White Pass, Yukon. Hours. No, I don't think we have that exact one in the tech tree. We've got ones that are close to it. I know. WP and Y 70 class. It is number 70. Was number 70 on the list? No. It looks like it'll be the closest to that one.
The bridge between the two switches is very sad. Who built this?
The which?
The one directly outside the iron mine between the two switches. The track's not even centered.
I think that's a holdover.
What do you mean the track's not centered?
I mean, the track's not centered on the bridge.
The bridge should be snapped to it, because I put the bridges in there and the bridges will be snapped to the track. The switch should be on gravel. And the gravel's snapped to the switch. I'm running up there, I'll come and have a look.
No, not the one like between where it splits off from going up the mountain and down the mountain. The one after that switch.
Okay, I didn't build back that far. I only did for the switch in between the two bridges down.
I'm pretty sure that bridge was
And up.
originally put in by me, and then somebody laid track over it, and we just never got around to fixing it. You're talking about the wood trestle, right?
Yeah, we don't have any steel trestle aside from the one off the other side of the iron mine and
The
one
long,
going
straight
into the
wood
ironworks.
trestle.
Yeah, the
I'll be
long
up there
straight wood
soon.
trestle that's actually slightly curved.
Because we got no fly at the moment, didn't the thingy crash?
Yeah, it crashed and I couldn't get it back working. Speaking of which, I should save.
Yeah,
Yeah,
won't
good
return
plan.
until you restart the game entirely. I'm not exactly sure why. Like, even if you quit and reload the save, if you haven't quit the game first, then it just decides no.
Huh.
There's trains halfway up hills. Here's
Yeah, I
another
put it
one.
there because that's where Heist left the stream.
Oh,
So when he
okay.
starts the stream next playing session, then he can actually just jump straight into a train and, you know, get going without having to hoof it. Should I not have done that?
I thought they were all up the top waiting.
Eureka's down at the sawmill.
Yeah, well, Eureka was at the sawmill, but yeah, the porter was at the top, and wasn't the climax at the iron mine as well?
Yeah, the climax is up here. I'm just taking it out because it takes forever to get to the logging camp, and I'd rather start from there.
It is getting about time where I'm ready to be done.
Well, I'm only halfway up the mountain yet. I gotta go have a look and see what the track inspector's picking on. Well, when I grabbed the save to fix these lines up and down, I got told not to touch the stuff at the iron mine, so I didn't touch it. Well, I got told not to touch the stuff at the top as well, but I looked at it and said, no, I'm fixing that. That's a mess. Breeze. Just put in a spline, did you?
Yeah. I'm running back up it to make sure it's all nice. There were some problem spots where it was going in between curves pretty fast, and I want to smooth them out some. So I'll just nudge the control points and delete the old track.
me get this out of your way so you can see it clearer.
Are you talking about this one here?
No, I'm talking about the bridge you just ran over.
Yeah, it's likely never been actually put in. I know it looks centered to me. That's center. Alright, it skews off to the left though. Yeah, someone put it in straight. No, it's only a bridge. It's a single piece.
I told you it was just a slightly off center.
Yeah, it was a single piece. It's more than like the original bridge that was put across here to mark the level, and someone just built the track across it. You're gonna have to pull your chain forward another 2 rail cars, please.
It is what I was saying.
That could have been the original bridge that the train went on, like the rail went on there when it was sunk.
Or someone's not made sure they're center. Are you in that train? Or you? Hang on, I say it's moving.
Yeah, 16 cars, clown. Like, come on, give me some time.
Oh, but it's the climax. It should just go.
You had to get in. Could run down the whole length of the thing.
Okay, now it's properly sunk and centered. So is that all what you're ready to take up to the top of the hill, is it? Is that 8 and 6?
8 and 8.
8 and 8.
I'm just gonna leave it parked up there, ready to start loading. Anyway, Klein, you have an aesthetic choice that confuses me a great deal, and I figured now's a good time to talk about it as any.
The what? What?
So, you know how you have like the wood decked rail that goes one segment over onto the stone rail?
Yep.
Why do you still have that be like the stone palisade when it's only one segment long? Like, why not just keep it as bridge consistently so it's not breaking the flow?
Because it doesn't break the flow. Do you see any slight wobbles in the track? It's using all the same control points, just with a different rail there.
No, the aesthetic flow of like going from bridge to like a segment of stone palisade to bridge again.
Because it's close enough to one of the, it'll be a peak that's sticking out. And so, you know, the bridge goes between basically the bit that's sticking out on the end of the mountain, to basically the next bit that's sticking out. You know, the bridge actually bridges a
Water
gap.
tower here.
Wasn't me.
Tristan. No one's going to park a train on 6% to fill with water, you nonce.
Yeah, that's the closest that we've got on the tech tree to that engine that they were talking about. And it's the White Pass and Yukon. I'm pretty sure that they said that the Klondike Kate was on the... But I'm not seeing it
So,
anyway.
Clown, if you look over at the stream real quick, I'm looking at a bit of track. Do you think that's going to derail anything?
You have to, yeah, that right there.
Have you
will-
stopped you're bouncing down the rail at the moment? So that bit there
I'll come back to it.
is
It'll derail a cookie or a high slow if they come out at full speed.
Yeah,
are they
'cause
9
it's-
tie segments? Or are they
Yeah,
full
they're,
length segments?
they're 9 tie segments. But it's a 25 into a 30, and there's this bit of straight here. I don't think it's going to derail anything. It's just...
Yeah, long as you got about two trucks worth of length in your straight, you'll have no dramas with it. But yeah, 25 into 30, that'll be a very sharp change of
I'm
direction.
looking at it now. What do you think?
Yeah, I see the one you're talking about, and yeah, it might be. Ooh, it'll be iffy. And well, the only way to know is to full reg a train down it. See if it tips
Alright.
over.
We'll just have to hope, pray, and suffer, and pray that we don't have the suffer
If
bit.
it over, it might still be fired up.
I mean, this line is already, like, this is the finish track. Well, not the finish track, the one you snap the finish track to. This is ready to get the bridges snapped to it. I'm just fixing these last bits out of it.
So go run the Eureka at it. It's the engine that's most likely to derail there, if any of them. You know, aside from aforementioned Cookie and High Slow that can't deal with 30-degree corners at top speed. They're just so dang top heavy.
I'll just have to put the question to Heist, but I didn't ping him. I just asked. Let's see if he's got his eyes open. So he's just sit there listening to music.
About the splines, or?
Hey, no, about Klondike Kate.
Oh. I don't know. I am not a
That's
train
really
guy.
what he knows about the splines.
Eastbourne Top, Sumter Valley.
Well,
Hang on, mate.
that's-
Turn around and go where you were 20 seconds ago.
Which spot? The one I just fixed?
Before I saw like a little tiny jag.
Because it does look like that one.
No, it looks good to me.
No, it must have just been like the bitrate compression at that point.
I mean, it's not quite a perfect curve. There's a little bit of a wobble, but it's not... It's just a... It's not even technically a wobble. It's just a transition of the other curve. Could have been more perfect, but it's fine.
Haha.
What?
I came back a little bit far in the logging camp.
You didn't derail, did you?
No, I just came back a little bit far. I need to pull forward some more.
Mm-hmm.
So that the Corval cars can actually load, because right now there's log cars in front of the loading.
like that.
Right, I need some back half a car. It's fine.
That's better. Oh, I deleted the wrong one. Much better.
Yeah, you can connect any of the rail cars straight onto the back of the locomotives, and it doesn't matter which locomotive they are, they'll all go on without the tender in the middle. The locomotive can take a normal link in it.
This is probably fine. This is not fine. Alright, that's the guide track in. Time to delete out the bridge. Save the game first.
You want going to run a test with Betsy first? Well, not Betsy, Eureka?
I mean, if you're firing her up, feel free to bring her down. I'm deleting the bridge underneath to put in the finished bridge.
I'm at the logging camp. I just had fired and like chucked a full load of wood into it at one point.
Oh.
Yeah, well, James, I just asked Heiss, and he thinks that that one is Klondike Kate as well, which is the same class as the one that we've got here in Australia.
You're
There's
telling
actually
me
two in Australia.
So you're telling me Heiss is going to respond to your DMs, but he's not going to watch my stream?
No, it wasn't a DM. I asked straight in the maintenance away discussion, and he actually
sure.
answered without a ping.
Let me go call him out real quick.
Sometimes important things happen there. Nothing important happens in the stream.
Call him out real quick. Be nice and salty. Can you select two delete tools at the same time? That's a no, right? In terms of logging and demolish.
If you attempt to select two tools at once, it will actually end the spline.
No, like say I want to delete trees and bridges. I can't do that, right?
It will end the spline the second you press
not,
G again.
Not doing anything
to go
with
into
track.
do it.
Nothing to do with track. Deleting bridge work and deleting trees at the same time. There's no way to keep both of those up, right?
I don't think so. You can have a go. Put the track one on, press G again, and see if it'll let you do the. No, it stops them.
Oh well.
So you can't do both of them. It's because it's a place and a delete at the same time that you're selecting.
Yeah.
When you're doing the. cleaning out the bridge work, the track
Oh,
from
well.
underneath the track.
It was worth a shot.
But yeah, if you've got a spline sort of held before you right click to finalize it, and you hit G a second time, that will actually place the spline. Okay, 192 is not on the tree, but it's very similar to the Class 70. So there we go, people.
ICE is doing a thing that requires audio. Oh well.
Isn't band rehearsal this night?
It's Tuesday. It's almost midnight.
Sound like Mick's never done band rehearsal before.
Well, he's usually home by 11. At least regarding usual times that he's mentioned beforehand. Maybe they canceled rehearsal. Oh, I honestly doubt that, though. You said extended won't work until I reload the game, right?
From my experience, yeah, if what you're describing is what I think you're describing.
Okay. I'm just gonna save the game, turn the foliage back on, since I don't need it off anymore. And then after we get the bridge in, I don't know. Probably place in finish track and then be done, or just put in the bridge and be done. Not sure yet.
Really need that line going all the way to the coal mine there.
That's right. That's what we're up to. Is that coal mine's got to get built in, and well, it'll
Yeah.
go along the normal route. So yeah, well, I might start doing that when we get on the next stream. I'll get up the top and start putting that 1.75 that I normally run down to the end of the horseshoe, and then we'll work out where we go from there.
Yeah, it's just a matter of coming off of this line that I'm building into the refinery.
I think you should build it to the oil field.
Tonight?
Coal mine to oil field.
I don't have time for that tonight. It's almost midnight.
Because I'm going to build to the depot from the coal mine. And since the oil field will already be hooked up directly to the refinery, that's basically going to be the most direct route to go from the refinery to the depot will be by the coal mine.
Yeah, well, I reckon you should have a pass through on that coal mine then and come up from the waterfall side. And have the coal out and the supply in for the coal mine on the
I feel like the oil field
1.75 side.
The oil field should be its own stub. Because coming from the refinery to the oil field, it's level.
Yeah, pass through lanes on the oil field. And then pass through lanes on the refinery as well. But yeah, how are we going to get up to that freight depot? Are we going to switch back it, or are we going to have like...
on that line, there will not be any switchbacks. I'm going to build a car park.
You're going to build a car park? Yeah, I suppose there had to be at least one thing cursed on the map, didn't they?
That's why I was asking you before about how many switches is like to what degree of curvature, because I'm just going to like put down a crossover track piece, build off like 3 switches each in each direction, and then snap a spiral going all the way up with a constant stone groundwork that then just raise into the sky.
Well, basically what you do with that, yeah, you just set it on 25 degrees and go round and round and round in circles and set it on 2.5.
2.5. 2.5 is fine. 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 Because yeah, I know the first and the last segments are just going to be throwaways and not the actual things to connect to, but everything else should generate out of stable curve.
So the easiest way to do it is you use full-length segments, and you basically draw a circle in track on the ground, and then basically you just keep running around the circle until it won't let you place any more things and connecting to every single control point. And then once you've got them, all,
get a 25-degree circle on the ground.
Well, you make a flat piece big enough for 25 on the ground. You've only got to add like an extra 30 or so feet off the edge of the cliff face.
Yeah, but that sounds much harder than what my idea was.
The idea of that is by using the guide track, that's basically what you're doing by putting a full circle on the ground of track, is it gives you even spacings of control points. So that when you're snapping your groundworks to it, you've got even snapping of the groundworks.
So you're wanting to make a Polar Express mountain is what I'm hearing.
He's making a car park, basically a spiral to the sky.
Yeah, the Polar Express
making
mountain.
a spiral.
It's going to be like a helix.
The Polar Express mountain.
A helix is a spiral. It goes round and round and round, but not tapers in. It's straight up and down like a car park.
Yeah, hence why I said helix and not
a
spiral.
tube. And well, the easiest way to do that is to put a circle of track on the ground, and you connect to the control points as you go round and round and round until it won't let you place anymore, and then raise it up in the air. And it gives you even distance of control points, which means you get smooth curves in your corners.
So you're doing something like this, Pharma.
No, because it's not tapering in, Mickley. Listen.
Yes, but it's not a car park, it's for trains, therefore it is a Polar Express mountain. Even if it doesn't taper.
No, it's a car park.
It's going to be a car park, though.
Or it's a slot car helix where you do 4 or 5 or even 10 circles around with a standard H curve round and round and round and round. To get from the floor to the table.
Because it's going to be made out of foundations, it's going to be visible for clients from the entire map, and it's going to be beautiful.
You're gonna build it out of stone groundwork, I assume?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you'd do it out of the... Make it look like a Christmas tree if it's out of the gravel. The gravel Christmas tree.
I mean, I could do that. We could just call it the early Christmas special.
Looks so hideous. Please do the stone wall instead.
A dirty Christmas.
Mickley, it sounds like you're trying to convince me to use the dirt foundation.
I don't know, maybe I'm using reverse psychology on you.
You know, it does have like a shorter foundation height, I think, than the stone foundation.
That's right. Yeah, no,
I think they're the same, are they not?
No, gravel is 40 foot deep and stone wall is 60 foot deep.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we can easily test that on the Mega Bridge, so...
Yeah, that's the
yes,
thing.
I think I'm going to build a Christmas tree.
The measurements were made, and well, that's what I was doing before. Is I was doing measurements, comparisons between what place is the longest, and gravel and wood bridge both placed at 100 meters per segment at their maximum length. Stonewall places at 50 meters for its maximum length, and there's 3 steel bridges to that 50 meter length of Stonewall. So yeah, the steel bridge is really short on its maximum length. So yeah, that was my experiment I was doing before, as I was doing some measuring.
Yeah, with how the steel bridge works specifically, it kind of has to not be like that long with how splines and bridges currently work. I assume with the bridge update that will change.
Yeah, well, they're different bridges. They're slightly different bridge models than what we've currently got They've been slightly altered and combined.
Yeah, I don't think the steel bridge has. Wood bridge, yes.
No, it's combined. There are no separate bridges. That was that was one of the
Oh,
questions. Do
combined
we
with
get any
rail.
separate bridges?
Okay.
They're all combined. They've been slightly modified from what they are now, and they're all combined.
You may saw my roller coaster, and this is his attempt to get it to never happen again.
That could be it too.
What he doesn't realize is he's just encouraged me to build the next roller coaster out of stone palisade.
And while we haven't been told what groundworks we're actually going to get, and I have a feeling that we're only going to get gravel. We won't get separate stone wall. If you want stone wall, it'll be combined only. That's the feeling I get with the way things were worded in the replies back from the Q&As.
I have a fingers crossed it'll just like all be in the one thing, and you'll have an option to select like the groundwork type you want, and then the track type you want, and there'll just be an option for blank, no track.
Oh, could be. But the difference with it is, with the groundworks that you'll be able to place separately, you can actually set a width for it. That's why I'm thinking it's only going to be one type, because you can set a width for it. So instead of having to run 20 strips to cover an area over, you can set it nice and wide and place down a big section. Like say if you want to build underneath a building, underneath a shed, you can just pull it out in one single piece and put it under the shed. So you've got width and length setting for that separate groundworks. Are you really going to do that whole thing in bridge, Mick?
Yeah.
Did you see how he did the 6%? It was just one big, massive steel bridge.
What's the issue with it?
I'm sure he does that so that I look at it and go, oh, gee, that looks like poo, and I come back and I fix it.
It's just steel bridge. What's wrong with it?
Because a lot of that could be even gravel. It's that close to the ground.
So what do you want me to do? You want me to delete this track and go do different groundworks?
You leave the track there.
No, the bridge deck I'm putting down. You want me to?
Well, you can easily swap it back if you need to. You can go either way. You can go from bridge deck to normal, and from normal to bridge deck. You can swap them backwards and forwards. Because all you
over the entire thing, and then when you're coming back to reevaluate, you just delete the sections of bridge deck that you don't need, and delete the sections of regular rail that you don't need. So then you only have two splines instead of a separate spline every single time you want to get a section of bridge deck in.
It's really hard to get the bridge deck or to get the regular rail deleted out of the bridge deck.
Yeah, so that's why you do the deleting of the regular rail before you confirm your bridge deck.
Well, that's pretty much how I do mine anyway.
You just contradicted yourself.
Yeah, no, exactly what Farmer explained is how I do mine. I'll do almost full length.
He was saying only delete out the sections of regular track where you want to put the different groundworks.
Yep.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, I put the groundworks in before I do the bridge deck because it's a pain in the behind to try and snap groundworks to the bridge decking, because you've got to get right over the point and right over the gap and look straight down the gap, whereas on the normal rail you can hit it at an angle and it'll snap.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is take out the bridge deck, fix the groundworks, and then put the bridge deck back.
Keep building like you're building and put the.
No, you're too late.
You can come back and do it the other way. Because you can work either way. You can turn bridge decking back into normal rail.
Yeah, but that's harder, so I don't want to do it that way.
No, it's not. It's exactly the same. And you don't even have to do the double. So yeah, like this whole section that you're walking over at the moment, this could all be gravel here.
Well, I'm deleting back until I get to the stone wall. And then I'll just take the stone wall because most of this I want to be stone wall and not anything else. Like this section here I want to be bridge because it's higher. But then back over here...
You gotta remember I'm 20 seconds behind on the stream.
Yeah, you'll see.
Well, that where you're at now on the stream, that should be all stone wall where you're nice and neat up against the edge. The only time you should have a bridge is when you're bridging a gap.
There's a little bit of a gap there.
No, there's no gap on the right-hand side. Okay, now this little spot that you're coming across now, this here, where you're standing now, put a bridge.
The one where I left it?
Yeah, one where you left the section of bridge at. That's where I put a bridge. But I wouldn't put a steel bridge there. I'd only put a trestle there because it's only low.
It's fine.
The only time I ever use the steel bridge for actual, the finished groundworks is when I'm going over water, because you don't want wood soaking in water, and when the
Height is too tall.
yeah, that's right. When the height is too tall, when the trestle doesn't reach the ground, then I'll go to steel bridge. Yeah, I'd have a little bit more of the tyres sticking out than that. You don't want to quite sink it in that far. If you look on the left-hand side of the tie and basically you count down the two big grains, that's the depth you want it at. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Want just a little bit more of the tie sticking up through the top. That way, in case you get any little bumps or whatnot from the Z randomization that happens, they don't go over the top of the tyres. Yeah, that's right, James. You won't be able to do any of that stuff like I do at the platforms and the cranes where you use the bridge decking to mark the area. But then hopefully we'll also have the signs pack in then, and you can actually mark your stopping points with little stakes in the ground. So you won't need to put the decking in there anymore.
I've just been using steel bridge the entire time, on like the back of where the locomotive pulls into.
Hey, it'll be combined. So yeah, that's right. You'll have a piece of bridge where it's close to the ground.
Because I find it easy to measure against something that's next to the cab rather than something that's half a train behind me.
No, you've seen that. I've showed you that screenshot before, haven't I?
Yeah, but I'm like thinking in situations where your train is over 12 cars long and multiplayer won't even be able to see that far anyway.
Yeah, have a look at that picture. I just posted
Like,
in
how am I
there.
meant to tell if one of my back cars is over the depth?
Yeah, no.
Cars aren't even rendered.
If you look along the edge, I've got like a little piece of groundwork sticking out at the coupling of every rail car.
Ah, that picture. I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've actually got both. So when you're close, you can line it up with the decking, and when you run all the way back to your cranes, and you can go, oh yeah, I'm exactly lined up. But then you've also got the measurement things, and when the signs come in, all you do is everywhere where there's one of them, you drop a stake and delete the bit that's sticking out, so it'll look like it's meant to look. And I hope we get little short stakes that are only like 6 or 8 inches tall.
Even if you don't, you can just like plate. Well, I guess it depends on like how tall your foundation around the area is going to be.
What about this section?
Well, if you,
Can I
was
keep
thinking you could use,
can I
like, one of
keep
the
this
little
bit as
posts.
steel, or do I have to make it trestle too? In order to prevent you
Yeah,
coming back over it.
well, where I'm watching you actually delete at the moment, that should all be stone wall. Not until you get away from the edge a little bit.
So the bit that I left.
Yeah, you could be in bridge there. Yeah, on the bit that you've left, and then yeah, back to stone wall again when it gets back up close again. So yeah, they could stay as bridge. I just think it looks better when you have that little bit of a transition between, instead of just having the whole thing go the whole way. Yeah, you want it on variable.
Just built it like a sky bridge.
Yeah, that's right. It's basically you build a sky bridge that's just close to the ground, and it doesn't look good at all.
It's quite hideous even, and that's coming from the guy who built the block.
Yeah, it might be prototypical, Taylor Gregory. The problem is with the Z randomization that we've currently got in the game, if it gets too high, it can actually cause the train to derail. Starts to interfere with the wheels physics.
Won't be a problem in the spline update.
Yeah, won't be a problem in the spine update. It'll be all preset depth and they'll always be sunk.
Can't wait until I can have sunk ties just from being lazy. I hate going and redoing groundwork again to get sunk ties.
Yeah, and we'll see. I've seen places where they actually don't have any ballast around it at all. They've basically only got the ground underneath, so the tyres are sitting like straight on top of the ground, and there's no ballast around the tyres at all.
It's because like old-timey folks stupid.
So you're saying this section of bridge I left in here, you want to keep that as not bridge?
Hey, where you're running up to now on the stream, no, we'll put that in as because it gets away from the side of the hill a little bit. And well, normally when you do that, you'd have to leave drainage on the back side of it. So yeah, this little bit here, you'd put into this bridge where you're at the moment.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 pieces yet, and then you'd be back to stone wall again from this next one onwards.
If only we had culverts.
Yeah, culverts would be cool. I thought I seen someone modelling culverts. Could have just been Wings drawing pictures too.
Wings drew a lot of pictures of some tunnel proposals, but I wasn't seeing him drawing any culverts.
Oh no,
specifically.
I thought he drew a culvert as well. Was a wooden culvert. Yeah, that's obviously not a 9-tie segment, that one.
Yep.
And you're going to have problems there. You need to connect every second one because you're going to have a flat spot in your bridge.
Yes, but you won't be able to tell from the rail.
Yeah, because the posts stick out the side.
Fine.
So yeah, you've got a piece there that's shorter than a 7.
It's not shorter than a 7. It's just
following the tutorial. And he's got the writer himself to tell him all the times he stopped following the tutorial. Like, just be honest with yourself, Mick. You didn't do it because you got lazy. That's why I don't follow the tutorial, because I'm lazy.
And yeah, that's about the rule for it too in the game. As long as you can see the spikes, the rail spikes, you're pretty much safe that the wheels won't collide with it. But yeah, if you even have that one little spot in your Z randomization that sticks up, and like it might not even cause a derail, but it will slow the train down. You'll hit it, it'll be, it's like hitting the those brakes they have on the roller coasters when you go to the theme park.
Yeah, I have a few bits
Yeah.
like that in the Iron Mine. I just don't care because they don't cause problems, and it's not like you're going fast in there anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, see,
Get off from here.
that worked better.
I mean, I rolled over the entire thing slowly, so I'm pretty sure it's not touching.
Well, see, you can drive up the dirt. You can have the dirt level with the rails. As long as it's not on a corner, it won't cause you to derail. You might drift a little bit, but then you'll come back down and land on the rails again. You've got to be one pass because you've got to come back and delete the head and the tail. Otherwise, you'll end up with a flat spot. I think you're getting tired, Mickley. I think that's what's going on here.
Yeah, I'm very tired. It is past my bedtime.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing anything important. You're free to end whenever. I'm just like loading this. Stream.
No, I'm almost up to the
All the
top.
parts
I'll
of
get this in.
HumanityKills, so
I
we just like pull the brakes off and we'll roll into the back of this.
I'll
I've
get
already
this
dropped
in.
out and I'm just watching the stream.
Yeah, I still have to fix the thing because there's some duplicate splines still. So I still have to fix that. But I wanna get this groundwork in. I'm pretty sure we're almost there. Yeah, we're pretty
I think it'd be
close.
funny if you just left the double splines in and had the high span at first with the rails on it.
No, that's mean.
He's been running brakeman so much, and that's why his derail counter is so low.
So you're wanting to artificially increase it.
I mean, he artificially increased my flame out counter by 2, so...
You deserved it, though.
Oh, who cares if the fire goes out? Just light it again before you drive off.
Ice does, apparently. He cares so much that if he gets into a locomotive he stopped running and the fire had just gone out, he's going to increase your flame out count by 1.
It's all for the content, Pharma.
Yeah, so we'll derail him and it'll be for content. I fail to see the problem with this. We still need more tier 2 flats. We need so many more tier 2 flats.
Yeah, we do.
Like, we need 4 more for the iron mine run to match the 6 hoppers that we have doing iron ore. And then we need however many tier 2 flats we need to be doing the lumber, the iron, the rails, and the beams out to all the rest of the industries.
I can run up some numbers of the exact amount of cars we'll need.
I think, what was the good number for the coal mine? Is it 12, where you do like 10 beams and 2 rails, and you just like alternately do 12 and 11?
13. So it's 2 and 11, and then 1 and 12. Or something like that. Well, you can't get it exact because you're trying to divide 23 into 2 trains, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, so you do like alternatingly one of full.
Yeah, but
and
it's
one
but
of
it's
not-
but it,
of
but it still
not.
doesn't. It still doesn't work unless you take up 11 cars one time and 12 cars the other time. So you always just
That's
take
what
up
I just said,
extra
so-
rails. Yeah, you just always take up extra rails.
But
So,
then
like,
that's
you
going
know-
to decrease my raw iron production.
So, well, when you get to say your third trip, so you take up 2 and 10, and then 1 and 11, and then the next time you take up 1 and 11 again, and then you take up 2 and 10, and then the next time you take up 1 and 11, you take up 1 and 11, and then you take up 2 and 10. So you do it basically every third one, and then it equals out.
And Tristan was like rubbish at placing this water tower at the logging camp.
They're actually easy to place if you don't have the groundwork in the way. But you've got to have groundwork there that's sort of level to about tyres thickness under the current tyres, and then sit it down and then put the groundwork back over the top again. So if you're in a hole, you've got to stand it on something. So you got to line up that edge board to the edge of the
I
normal
know. Just
tyres.
observing he hadn't done that at all, and now
Yeah,
the entirety of the pipes being shoved down the Climax's tube.
Well, that's something I probably didn't show in my tutorials, is how to put a water tower in a difficult place. I showed how to put it in a nice level place, but I didn't show how to put it in a difficult spot.
I'm so good at water towers, I can put them inside sanding houses.
Yeah, but that's cursed.
You know, it's
That's as
space
cursed as the-
efficient. It's strictly space efficiency.
That's as cursed as what the big long block is.
It's so space efficient, though. Like, why would I have it be in a separate place when I could have 2 industries in the space of 1 industry? Sorry, facility.
Mick's got to be getting tired. He's that was the stuff up there. He
Shush.
deleted one too many.
Shush.
I was watching.
No one will know. How are they gonna know?
Because you streamed it, it's in the VOD now.
Because you streamed it, and then I said it.
You didn't have to say anything.
Anyone who watched Clown's tutorials would have seen you deleted 1 too many.
Well, talking of tired, like I was up 24 hours, and then I only got an hour's sleep, and I've been up again.
Why? Why would you do that to yourself?
Because grumpy old body said, "You're not allowed to lay here anymore. Get up. You hurt too much."
I mean, why would you
So
stay
I'm
awake
just-
that long?
Because grumpy old body said, "You're not laying down. You hurt too much."
And sitting hurts less?
Yeah, it actually does.
Huh.
Oh, you wait till you get to my age. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Standing hurts less than sitting, which hurts less than lying down. Particularly when, like, the bed you're sleeping in is the, like, mattress hardness your partner wants and not the mattress hardness that you want.
I know, it's my bed. It's the mattress hardness I want. It's my bed. If she doesn't like my bed, she can go sleep on the fucking floor. Sorry.
I guess it's just a you problem then.
It's not just me that's tired.
That one slipped.
We're past the first minute. It's fine.
I'd still prefer to not have any swearing if possible.
Yeah, no, you don't. You don't want any in it at all.
We'll just say we're going to Germany. That's where that town is, right?
Isn't that a brand of oil?
Was it Germany or Austria that had
Yes.
the...
I don't know what you're talking about.
the town with the name that you've told me I can't say the name on stream?
I have no idea.
Wow, that thing's floating a long way in the air, isn't it? Talking about the whole refinery. It's
Yeah.
way up in the air.
That's why there's so much groundwork there. You know how much time I spent like before we actually started playing this map just laying groundwork there because there wasn't enough of it already?
This could use a better transition.
Oh, and you're going to try and do the transition in wood, aren't you? It's fun. Yeah, transitions are easiest done in, and yeah, it's easier to do your transition down. You don't try and sink the tires to start off with. You still want them to curve, so you basically want to put in 3 segment pieces. Oh, they still curve and follow the thing of the track, and then you can come back and delete the one that's too shallow and start building from it again. Which is that's what I had to do at the top, is each one of those little segments of bridge that I've got up there is only a single segment long, but I've actually built it in a 3 segment length, and then deleted the first and the last, and then overlapped them again for the next one that I put in, so that when I deleted all the first and last, I'm left with a nice curved bridge in the middle that actually changes grade. That was really painful to build. And I'm so glad that I'm so glad, and that's been confirmed, that we will get variable grade in bridge work. It will no longer be constant grade only for bridge. So you'll be able to do transition in bridge, which is, that's one of the best things in the new spline update.
Attach a slight asterisk to that. You'll be able to do it without the use of third-party tools this time.
Can you do that with the third-party tools?
Yeah.
Put a
RX
transition.
supported it innately ever since it had track building tools as a function, and I believe the spline joiner on the Railroad Studio would also convert bridges of varying grades.
And
Chat wants to know, Clown, chat wants to know if you would consider yourself a grumpy old fart.
Me? Oh, a serious old fart.
He's definitely grumpy. Don't listen to him. I've met old Australians before. Clan is definitely way more grumpy than they are.
So you got
Apparently New
Old
Zealand
Man
has
and
some
get
town
grumpy
names that you
when they-
can't say on stream. Well,
Where
don't
does
say them
New
then.
Zealand?
There's still 12 people watching. What are you guys doing? You just don't sleep? What?
Go play some games yourselves.
Nah, everybody needs to go to sleep. Time zones don't exist. But yeah, I am very tired, but I'm going to finish this because it'll bother me and I won't be able to sleep if it's not finished. We're so close! Essentially, I have to relay every single spline of the regular track because some of it's duplicated and I don't know which ones.
Drive the train over, it'll find them.
Yeah, I know, but that's boring.
Eureka's right there.
No, that's not boring. That's we send Heist over there to get the first load.
I mean, it's only to the refinery. Nothing's actually built through the refinery. I want to build a couple passing lanes before the shunting area.
Yeah, but we can send him over there to take some of the
Lumber?
wood products over there. Yeah. And he can find the duplicate splines for us. And get some
Perhaps.
numbers up on his derail count.
Speaking of the refinery, what's going to be our approach for not having the shunt?
I think you're in charge of that. Somebody posted earlier where they had like 8 cars for the lumber,
that's
and then
overkill.
they had a rolling system for the. No.
It's not
No!
overkill time because you have to go over like 2 unloading lanes worth of distance. You need that many cars to translate across. Well, I guess technically you could do it in 3 lanes worth of cars.
Yeah,
if
that's
you're
right. Yeah, 3
really
lines.
dedicated to just like not having your, you know, like, so the way I did it was I wanted to still have like the visual appearance of lanes that go into the correct destination, but you know, just without having to actually go shunt around in those lanes, because I think having those lanes there looks cool. But in order to get it so that you have the lane that extends all the way into the pipes unloading one and the lane that goes all the way into the lumber unloading one, that means you'll need to go 4 lanes over to then have the lane that goes through to the oil unloading from like for the lumber one, and 2 lanes over to go to the oil pipes one.
Still works with only 3. But like, if you're gonna go to that extent, yeah, you just put a bridge up and just build diagonal across them.
And between transloading and just dropping them from a great height, I'd rather translate because, like, at least that's a semi-support.
I mean, for the
and
pipes,
not
they
just,
had a
like,
system where they just dropped them off
the
onto
pipe
rails and then it
goes
rolled
through.
off. It rolled onto the platform.
Yeah, roll down the hill.
If we wanted to put the pipes rolling down some rails, I'd be perfectly fine with that.
It's fine until it's not fine, and the point it's not fine is like it comes pretty quickly with the physics limitations.
Hmm.
And, like, considering this is a map that routinely will see, you know, 6-5 people playing at once, I don't think that's the approach we want to take, because I think it's going to start voiding pipes before it reaches all the way to the platform.
No comments on my random screaming of no.
Yeah, I was watching what you did, and I was just sitting there shaking my head. I just wasn't gonna say anything. You knew you did. You knew you stuffed up.
Stupid tip and tail. It's probably like 1 pixel off too, and that's all it took. But yeah, this is all clown approved. You're not gonna come fix this?
I don't know. Wait until a train runs over it. When the train derails, and it's a problem. It looks good,
Mm.
but it's got to work.
Your confidence is much appreciated.
And yet, you haven't connected it at the bottom yet.
Oh yeah, I haven't. I'm not connecting it to the Y tonight. That can happen
And
some other time. That
and you didn't put a
transition.
transition in.
Yeah,
you
there's
didn't
no
put a
transition.
in.
That's happening. That's a problem for future us to deal with. Not tonight. Because that essentially the whole Y has to be rebuilt. Alright, let's see if I can get it this time.
Why there's a Y there?
There we go. Because it's your fault. You're like, but what if we want to pull it out of the yard and onto the line? So I'm like, fine, we'll put it on a Y. We don't really have a better spot to put it anyways. The only better spot would be if we hooked it into this Y into the yard.
Because I'm not quite seeing the
Oh, this doesn't have
between how what I
groundworks.
said and what you have done is like my fault.
Well, there's going to be a lot of backwards and... Oh, no, there won't be backwards and forwards because the Y's in the right spot. The first Y's in the right spot when you're coming up from the smelter. Be able to just turn right, then turn left.
Yeah, like if you want to pull out from the yard onto the line, you're going to, pull out of the yard and pull onto the line, and like that's just going to be a thing that happens. I don't see how having a Y there is necessarily helping unless you're stored in that specific lane, in which case, you're still pulling out to get onto the Y.
But that's only a really short lane. If you've seen how much room's on the other end of that, can you even get over into that lane with enough room? I suppose you'd be in that weird little bubble loop on the end, the balloon loop.
Yeah, so you pull out of the yard onto the Y that already exists, so you can pull into the other Y and start going out.
Yeah, that's right. If you didn't have a Y there, that's right. You just pull forward into the other Y.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter. Like, with my sawmill on my personal track, I've got a Y after a Y. And I can turn around on either.
Let me upload the minis work and then we'll take a look at it.
Don't forget to save.
I did just save.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's been saving a lot.
Because I didn't see that on the stream. It hasn't come up yet then. This isn't Minecraft. Jumpy.
Yeah, like if you're Y at the sawmills where I think it is, that's like fine because there's also, the chance that you won't want to pull into the sawmill to continue out if you're bringing products from the smelter south down to the Ironworks, and that just happens to be where your line pulls through.
Okay, so this is the setup. We got that Y, and this line has to service everything from the refinery to the coal mine to the oil field.
And I can't see what you're looking at. You're still looking at railroads online.
I'm not on the stream. Are you watching the stream? I can see myself looking at Minnie's word.
Yeah, no, we can see it now.
So I don't, unless we hooked up into this Y here, I'm not, like the first Y, the sawmill Y, I'm not seeing a better place to put it. Because let's see, we want, say we take beams and lumber from the sawmill. It gets pulled out and shunted into the yard. I mean, we'd still have to sort of switch back it or go around the loop and then come onto the Y. So if you pull the cars through into the yard and then take your shunter locomotive out, and then you can shuffle more cars from another lane back around. And then if you want to take something to oil field, you just take the pass-through lanes around, back into the lane to hook up the cars, go around the balloon loop, and then come out. My question is, yeah, and if you're coming,
thing Mickley just tried to like talk about.
what
Not
if
really.
if you're okay, so fine, just get a big old snip of it so I can draw on it. So say we have cars, they come in this way, they get put into a lane, and then the locomotive comes back out around and does more shunt work. Then if you want to get something, you get your locomotive in, and then you back up into the cars after passing this switch here, and then you go all the way back around and out with the cars. You pull around the balloon loop. And then coming back in, it's the same thing. You can pull into either side of this Y, and then back the cars back in their respective lanes where they're supposed to go. Now this other section of Y here, this one specifically be used when we're taking from this way, and you can just go straight on without having to pick up anything in the yard. Which would be stuff from the Ironworks, because we have the coal mine, which needs rails, steel pipe, and tools. The tools and steel pipe can probably get set by itself, like sent in its own proper train. So I think it'll work just fine with that Y. It just needs to curve more to meet up here. All right. You guys have anything else to say? I'm getting ready to go to sleep in my chair.
No, well, I'm already done. I'm already out.
That like bloody loop all the time, any time they're coming in.
The balloon loop? I mean, if it doesn't derail anything, then it's not gonna have an issue, so...
It derails things.
Have you tested that?
Yeah, I put the Eureka on it once going 17, it derailed.
Well, because you were going full speed. If you go yard speed, you don't derail. I tested it doing yard speed. Anyways, that's gonna be all for me. Glad everyone could tune in that did. Please have a great, safe night or day or whatever time it is, wherever the heck you are.
Loop going full speed.
Just gonna ignore Pharma. I'm gonna go off to get some rest, and sleep.